In September, I began my coursework with a preliminary task of making a front page and a contents page for my school news magazine. I made this in Photoshop. Firstly, I used the text tool to create a masthead for my front page. I used this continuously in my preliminary task to create cell lines and subheadings. I also included images in my magazine. To add them, I opened the photo I wished to use in Photoshop first. I then dragged the image over to my other document which contained my preliminary task. This is the way of inserting images into your task on Photoshop. To be able to begin my magazine, I had to take pictures. I took my pictures with professional equipment. This included the camera and lighting. The camera that was used is a Canon E05-500D, and the lighting that I was using was Interfit Stellux 300. Using professional equipment like this allowed me to capture amazing quality images of my model. The equipment is really beneficial and helps make your magazine look really realistic. It also allows you to learn how to use the lighting and how to set it up, as well as how to work a professional camera, which could help you in the future. The next stage was to cut out my photos. I used Photoshop to do this. Cutting out my photos included removing the white background so that I am just left with my model. The first step is going to select and then the colour range button. You then have to move your mouse over a selection box so that your model is coloured all black and the background is white. You then press the OK button. To check that the whole of your photo has been selected, you go to the Quick Mask button. This will make your picture turn red. This means that all your picture has been successfully selected. If this does not happen, then you go to the brush tool and you can colour the bit of your model that is not red yourself. After you have done that, you click off the Quick Mask button again, and your image should have a line all around it. The next step is to go to the layer button, which is at the top of the page. You then go to the new button and then layer via copy. This basically creates another layer, which is your image that you have just cut out. There will then be two layers at the side of your document, one of your picture with a white background and one with your picture without a background. You then have to drag the layer with the white background into the rubbish bin, and then you are left with a layer with no background. Your picture is now cut out. Doing this process multiple times really helped me get the hang of Photoshop and how to use it correctly. As well as this, I edited my photos. To do this, I used different brushes and filters. The brush that I used a fair bit was the eyelash brush. This was quite tricky and took me some time to really get it right. However, now I'm able to do this with ease. I have also made some of my photos black and white. I used Photoshop to make my first draft. However, I'm now using InDesign for my second draft and for my final magazine. InDesign is industry standard software, and at first I was sceptical about using it, as I found it really hard to adapt to. Also, I really struggled to use it because I was so used to using Photoshop. However, now I'm more confident in using it as I have watched tutorials on how to use it properly. For example, at first I didn't understand how to insert my pictures into my magazine. I thought you could just drag the photos across like when using Photoshop. However, I now know you have to go to Place, find your photo in your documents, and then it will appear in your magazine after you have pressed OK. I now realise that using InDesign is the best thing for me to make my magazine look professional and to be successful. I'm really proud of the magazine I have produced. I can now say that I am skilled in 2 different softwares, and as time goes on, my skills will hopefully grow. I am really pleased and glad that I learnt how to use InDesign and will definitely be using it in future tasks. Using all these different technologies in the process of constructing my magazine has opened my eyes and shown me how creative I can actually be. Learning how to use InDesign has allowed me to put my own stamp on my magazine and really make it mine. I've also gained knowledge as well from going through this process. I now know how to work a professional camera and how to edit my photos, which I did not know before starting my magazine.